All right, welcome back to the Wisconsin High School Esports Association Week 3 Varsity League of Legends. This week we're featuring Bayport against Janesville Craig. So thank you for being patient. A lot of technological issues so far today with the new patch coming out. Schools having to work around some of that stuff like that. So it's been a day. It's been a day, ladies and gentlemen. But so getting to the match here, on the left is Bayport. They're going to go ahead and ban away even Jace. Jace is an extremely popular pick right now in the LCS and the Pro Series. And then we're going to see Janesville Craig going to go ahead and ban out Thresh and Zyra right away. And Bayport's going to go ahead and finish out the first ban phase with a Yasuo ban. And Craig is going to go ahead and finish off their ban phase with a Draven. Bayport's going to go ahead and first pick a Vayne, so a very hyper carry bot lane pick right there. Does usually pair well with a Thresh, but you could really go in with an Alistar or a Nautilus. You could even play something passive like a Janna or Soraka and just dish the heals out. Janesville Craig's going to go ahead and first pick a Brand. Brand could go, it's a pretty popular support right now in solo queue, but has been known to go in the mid as well. And as they're hovering this Alistar pick, I'm going to kind of guess that Brand is going to go ahead and go mid. Bayport's going to go ahead and lock in a Cho'Gath. Again, most likely going to go topside with that Cho'Gath. Not seen a lot of jungle play this season or any of these patches, so I have to assume that's going to be your top lane tank right there. And then a Vlad pick coming in for Bayport to round out the first section there. Vlad has been popular top so far this season as well. So it kind of really depends on what we're going to go ahead and see Janesville pick. We're going to go ahead and go with the Sivir. So again, I'm guessing that this Brand is going to go mid. The Vladimir should most likely then go mid against the Brand. It would make the most sense with the Sivir Alistar bot lane. So that's a really good late game lane right there with the Sivir Alistar, sorry.
The weak fear the shadows.
Bayport's going to go ahead and ban out, or sorry, Janesville's going to go ahead and get rid of a Kayn. Bayport's going to go ahead and get rid of that Rammus that Janesville was hovering early on. Maybe they're playing a little bit of psychological mind games with each other here. Who knows?
We do what we must.
And to finish out the last two picks, we're going to see Lee Sin and Riven off the board as well. So if you are Janesville, you could easily play a Scion into that Cho'Gath and do pretty well. You could probably do something like a Renekton. Darius is still on the board as well if you're going to go into a Cho'Gath. Renekton and Darius early game definitely going to do a lot of damage. I like the Tark pick to go with the Vayne. That CC and then that Divine Ultimate that he can drop down is really nice for those big team fight engagements. Bayport's hovering the Sejuani pick, and that's gonna give them a very tanky team there. So between the Cho'Gath, and then we're gonna see a Nasus locked in. So see some good CC. See a nice split push composition coming here out of Janesville with the Nasus. And Nasus with those new stacks that he got out of the most recent patch could create some issues here, especially against Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is really slow. Going to have to really build Righteous Glory pretty quick there in order to get the speed boosts, in order to get into those team fights. Because the hardest thing about Cho'Gath right now is that, sure, he can build, 5 to 6,000 HP, but he's not really able to get into the backline very easy. He's not able to super CC anybody, kind of like a Scion would. You can get the knock up and the silence, but other than that, the only thing that you really have to hope for is that you knock somebody up, you silence them, and then you can do your chomp. So, a little bit of background here. Bayport has been part of the Wisconsin High School Esports Association from early on. In the spring semester of last year, they did extremely well in the state tournament. Looks like a little bit of a different lineup this semester. So, it'll be interesting to see how they come out in this game here. And this is really our first time looking at Janesville Craig. They're coming in as one of the new schools this spring semester. So, appreciate them joining in and coming along for this wild ride. Really appreciate every single school that is participating right now. We're starting to pick up a lot of traction, and as you can see from the Discord channels, some of the biggest issues that we face are committing to a specific time and date in order to be somewhere to play. I think that's the hardest thing for any of this, is to try to dedicate time to play. But we're doing pretty good so far. This is finally the first week where we don't have a bunch of school closings or polar vortexes to worry about. So it's really, really appreciated that everybody's able to get in and help us out. Some other big matches around the week here in week 3. If we're looking at the Division 1 there. So again, if you don't know, go out to wihsea.org and you can check out all the different games, all the different schedules, and the different standings, which we don't have a ton for standings right now. But some other week 3 matchups that kind of big. I know Arrowhead got a forfeit win over Muskego because they didn't have enough students show up to play today, which is unfortunate. Wausau West is playing against Horlick. Wilmot is playing against J.I. Case. Waterford is playing Milton, and Waukesha West is playing Cedarburg. So that should be a pretty good game between those two schools. Cedarburg won our Polar Vortex Rumble that we hosted last week, and they look like they didn't lose a beat coming from last spring. So good to see them back as well. Week 3 as well in Division 2. Walden 3rd is playing Wauwatosa. I know there were some issues potentially on the Discord channel. Substitute players, if you are looking to sub in a player, needs to be on the roster by 9 a.m. If they're listed under the JV team, that's considered to be on the official roster, so please make note of that. Montello is playing Elkhorn. That should be a pretty good matchup. Clinton got a forfeit over St. Catherine's today due to some student ineligibility. Wisconsin Dells are playing against West De Pere. Oconto is playing against Baraboo. Those schools have faced off quite a few times. And we got McFarland against Whitnall. So a little bit of a variety across the board there. We tried to do the first 2 weeks this season against a close school. So a school that was within 30 or 20 miles or something like that. So that way we can try to build up some of these local rivalries that we may have. Tomorrow we do have some JV action going on as well. We have J.I. Case against Clinton B, Clinton A against Elkhorn, McFarland versus Tosa, Rock U against Bayport, Hillsboro versus Arrowhead A, Ripon versus Wausau West, and Wilmot has the bye. So Something to keep in mind, right now I have J.I. Case versus Clinton B on the JV stream schedule. So come check it out tomorrow. I'm going to start to have a little bit more free time, so I'm trying to brush up on my Overwatch. With the Overwatch League starting again, I'm doing my research. I'm going to try to learn to shoutcast some Overwatch as well. So maybe we'll get some Monday streaming going as well, and we can get some Overwatch action on stream too. So doing as much as I physically can as a human being. So if I was a cyborg, this would be so much easier. So let's go ahead and turn our overlay on. Dish our people all around here. All right, should be good to go there. I don't imagine that we're going to see a ton of funny business here. Again, I'm not too familiar with Janesville Craig, so going to go ahead and have to wait to see what their play style is, but looks like they're looking to kind of hunker down there and not give up too much vision. Don't want to risk the invade. But it doesn't look like Bayport is going for the invade there. So Nasus watching that tri-bush there. Always appreciated. The more and more that I've been watching a lot of higher level people play, Diamond and whatnot, as we see Sejuani face checking that bush, that's a very risky face check right there. So we do see the Alistar coming in. Alistar is going to go ahead and get burnt and have to blow the flash already. Needs to be careful there. Shouldn't go in. So if your jungler is going bot side red down here, they do say that you should, if you're a mid laner, watch this, but then at about a minute 20, go up to this bush here and ward. That way then your jungler and you have a better idea of exactly what path that the enemy jungler is taking. And so you can see here that they warded the river down here, so that's a good ward there. So you can see where Amumu's going. A lot of the pathing that we currently see in League of Legends is you go either red and then blue, or you go red, scuttle, then blue, and then you should be looking to make a gank either top side or bot side, depending on which side of the map that you started on there. So here you can see Amumu went blue, and now he's going scuttle. He's going to go ahead and go right there, and then he can go to his red, and then probably look to make a gank top side or to the mid, depending on which lane is pushed up. And it looks like he's actually gonna... He could actually... Amumu should go topside right now. As you can see, Cho'Gath already has Nasus pushed up under tower. So once Amumu gets this Scuttle Crab, as we see Sejuani's now also coming in the river. But it looks like Amumu is just going to go ahead and elect to go for his red. So when I play Amumu, a lot of the times I'll start with blue, go Gromp, or go blue and then just run straight over to Raptors and then red. And it looks like we could see our first kill going into the bot lane there for Bayport, and that kill's going to go ahead and go over to Vayne because of the nice gank there by Sejuani in the bot. We are going to see Amumu starting to come to the top side. If he goes down into the river, he's going to get caught out by Cho'Gath here. And it looks like he's electing to go ahead and do some counter jungling here. And he's not going to go ahead and go for the gank up top. Stealing this blue would be a pretty big advantage there for Amumu. Just because Sejuani cleared out the entire bot side of his jungle. And that's a pretty big one there. But we could see he's going to hit the blast cone. Does get it. Amumu's going to go ahead and get CC'd down here. Going to go ahead and get frozen. This is not a fight that Amumu is actually going to win this one based upon the health percentage, and is going to get the flash out of Sejuani. So that was actually well played there. I do believe, though, if Sejuani combos that CC chain a little bit differently, it would have come out in his favor. Do see a little bit of a CS lead in the mid there for Vlad over Brand. But we do see Sivir is a little bit ahead against the Vayne in the bot side, but Vayne does have the kill in her favor. So top side, pretty advantageous. The Nasus is doing some work getting those stacks that he needs. Does have a bit of a CC advantage already as well, which is a good thing. Those stacks are really important to Nasus's kit. The Tark's getting pulled out there. I don't know if... Nope, they do not. So with the Alistar combo too, one thing that you can do in that situation, which I don't believe that he has flash available, but Sivir was able to dive up under there and get the kill. When you hit 3 with Alistar, that's when you can actually throw your combo down really well. If you're under tower like that against, say, the Tark, you could easily flash in, hit your Q, knock him up, hit your E, so it's starting to build up those stacks. Move a little bit in front of the Taric and E them back out into lane. So that way then you're not taking a bunch of turret hits and you're able to deal a bunch of damage. And that way they're stunned as well when they come out from underneath turret. And you should have a kill to your lane. Dude, look here. Nasus is already sitting at about 78 stacks. So that's going to be super helpful, especially as Cho'Gath is going to continue to get more and more health. So if you're not familiar with how Cho'Gath works, Cho'Gath on his E here, as you can see, he's got 3 stacks on his E. Actually, you probably can't see that on the stream there, but Cho'Gath maxes out the E there because he's able to deal additional damage plus 3% of enemies' max health, and you actually gain 0.5% of enemies' maximum health as well. So looks like we got a little bit of a team fight here. I think Taric gets caught out a little bit, but Vlad is down there. The Alistar is going to have to blow this flash, and there's not enough CC, and I don't think that's going to be enough. And Sivir throws the pizza, slices and dices, and gets the kill. It's going to be 2 kills going over to Sivir. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also typing on Discord right now too, so. going to go have a little smite battle here, and that's actually going to be Sejuani getting the kill on a Mumu there. So either way, even if a Mumu got the blue, he's not going to keep it. So I would like to point out, too, look at the gold down here at the bottom. Cho'Gath and Nasus both have about 2,200 gold. Really need to make sure that when you're in a laning phase like this, if you push the wave like Cho'Gath has pushed Nasus under tower multiple times, when they are taking those turret shots like that, that's a perfect time for you to back. So like Cho'Gath should have backed already there. And when you back is when you have a cannon wave. So like this one right here, you should always back. If it's under tower, this cannon is going to take a few turret shots to die, so the wave isn't going to push to you right away. And so it'll end up freezing here. So it would be to your advantage to back when you have a cannon that's pushed up under tower. Gonna see the Alistar going in again here, trying to get it. Sejuani's coming in behind, gonna go ahead and get a lot of CC down on this Alistar, and that Alistar is going down. And the kill going over to Vayne, which is gonna help really bring that lane back a little bit closer. Amumu dropping the CC down on Vlad. The biggest problem with Vlad is he's got so much mobility there. He's able to just go ahead and dive everywhere that he can and try to avoid everything, but that is going to be enough damage coming down from the Brand in order to secure that kill. And we see Nasus getting the kill on Cho'Gath there and should now be able to back and go ahead and finish up that Triforce. Another team fight coming down here on the bot. Trying to get all that CC onto the cow, but really need to be able to get to that Sivir backline there. Alistar's got so much armor there that you can't target the tank. The Taric ult, not in time, and unfortunately that's going to be a big team fight swinging in the other direction. Oh, sorry. Time to focus back up on the stream here. Apologies. So it's looking like the bot lane here for Janesville is getting a little bit farther ahead, but ooh, could see a nice dive here. I think the Sejuani should be safe here, but it looks like they're trying to turn this around. I don't think they have it. Cho'Gath isn't a high enough level here in order to get there. Going to try to silence the Nasus because one more thrash from Nasus's Q, and he's done for. Vlad dodging left and right. Nasus is here again in order to come down and try to put the finishing blow on some of this team fight here, but they're not going to be able to turn it. Sivir and Alistar on the bot side are looking to push up on this secondary turret already. Tark trying to heal his ADC there. Sivir decided to go with the Infinity Edge first, which I don't know if that's the first one that you should build. So that's a good Drake going over there to Janesville there. Going to go ahead and get the Mountain. Mountain's a good first one to usually get down there. I would say you always need to focus that first Drake if it's Infernal or if it's Mountain. If it's Cloud or Ocean, you don't necessarily have to... It's not that you don't have to worry about it, but it's not nearly as high of a priority as the Mountain and the Infernal. So... Do you see this Nasus is starting to get pretty tanky there with the amount of stacks that he's got going there? As I do see that Cho'Gath does have 2 feasts, which is pretty good. But Nasus has 267 extra damage coming in from that. Sejuani going to go ahead and miss that headbutt there. Vlad's coming in, though. I don't know if they're going to have enough damage to pull this off, though. But it does get the flash out of the Nasus, and that's something that's good. Did cost them, I believe I saw an Ignite come down. And I did. That was out of the Vladimir, so that's not going to be super helpful. Gonna go ahead and have to focus 5-man mid here for Bayport as we got 4 team members for Janesville in the mid, and that's going to go ahead and be a tier 1 turret. See Cho'Gath trying to sneak behind there. Nasus is going to go ahead and start split pushing. And he's got enough stacks that those turrets are going to get shredded down real quick. Sejuani's going to go ahead and get caught out, but this is actually a really good team placement. Oh, and everybody grouped up together there for Bayport. That Amumu ultimate can be quite tricky there. See Brand getting the double kill over on the Tark, and I think Sivir's going to have enough damage, and does, in order to go ahead and secure the kill on Vayne. Nasus pushing onto that tier 2 top turret, and then the rest of Janesville is looking at that tier 2 in the mid. Nasus has to back off because he's taking a little bit of turret damage there, but he's got another big enough wave coming that he could just wait this out and go ahead and smash that turret. Looks like this actually could be the inhib here in the mid for Janesville. All the team members are now up for Bayport, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and elect a back. We could honestly see, Janesville turn and at least go for Baron at this point. because Bayport's got to sit in their base here and push these waves back out. So it would have been it's still a 50-50 shot, but and we see Alistar there's that combo, right? You can just up and then smash them backwards and kind of put them off their back line there. You see Vladimir trying to come in. Alistar doesn't have any magic resist, but you can just see how tanky he's gotten with all those assists. But he's going to go ahead and get caught out, and that's going to be a shutdown going over to Sejuani. And Vladimir and Vayne are going to go ahead and get the assist on that one as well. So that's going to be helpful for them. Get a little bit of that gold as well. We could see a little push here now coming from Bayport in the mid. Amumu misses his wraps and is going to have to back off. Don't really have a wave pushing here for Bayport, so they're going to have to back off and start to rotate lanes. You got to rotate the top, push that one out, because otherwise Nasus is just going to keep pushing top and is just going to keep just smashing down your turrets. With all those stacks that he has, he's just easily able to do that. One thing here too, as I keep looking at Cho'Gath here, the first couple of early levels when you are Cho'Gath, so after 6, right, and that ultimate comes up, most of the time you should be using that on like a cannon minion. Because when you use it on those minions, you start to get an additional health boost as well. And that's essentially how you get really far ahead with Cho'Gath in your lane. You want all those stacks of your health. We're going to see Tart getting caught out here. The super chain of CC coming down, and Sivir uses her ulti in order to go ahead and burst them down. Nasus is going to go ahead and get caught out. Vayne's going to get the shutdown gold on that, so that's going to be pretty helpful for Bayport. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Excuse me. So Nasus Cho'Gath should have a few more than just 3 stacks. Those first few feasts are really important to get you far ahead in lane. So especially when you're going against a Nasus like that, who's just going to just keep getting stacks on stacks on stacks. Here comes a big team fight, that Amumu CC coming down. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be the ace coming down. Oh, it's going to be close. Sivir not going to go down. Had one last tick. Vlad's able to just go ahead and get all that back from his pools. Going to go ahead and use the Zanyas on accident. But as all this is going down, Nasus just doing Nasus things in the back line there, just smashing things down. And we're going to see all 3 inhibs going down here for Bayport. And Janesville's going to go ahead and look at the Nexus here. If they decide to back off, which they could easily look to go and get that second mountain. That second mountain is just going to go ahead and increase their damage to those turrets and the Nexus itself. So it's one thing. That's why it's one of the most important Drakes to fight over. Because once you start getting to some of these late game team fights and you're really looking to siege the base, you get a Baron buff, those additional Mountain Drakes are super important. So we do see this Baron getting shredded, gonna go down. And now we're gonna see Janesville looking to make that final push onto the Nexus and close out this game. So we see Bayport desperately trying to clear the base, trying to get all those minions off their turrets. So again, we could be seeing the final push here coming from Janesville. They do have a 12,000 gold lead. We see the Demolish ready on the turret there, and there's one shot from Nasus. The Amumu ultimate coming in, and this is going to be the final team fight. And I don't know what Bayport can do. The Targ ultimate does come down, but there's just not enough damage from the one Vayne in order to go ahead and shut this down. So that's going to be Janesville securing the victory over Bayport. Congratulations. Well played by both teams. Everybody's always got things to work on, okay? We can always do better. So, congratulations to Janesville on their first win. I believe it's their first win. Let me double check. It's hard to tell with all the cold days, snow days. It is going to be their first victory. So, well played by Janesville. See you tomorrow for a little JV action. And let's see here. What's next Monday? Next Monday is the 11th. I don't think I have anything going on that Monday. So let's go ahead and let's try to get some Overwatch streamed on Monday. And if I don't have anything on Tuesday, let's go ahead and see if we can get some Rocket League streamed on Tuesday. So let's see here. Week 4 action for Overwatch. We have Random Lake and Horlick, J.I. Case and McFarland, Elkhorn Omro, Walden 3rd Bayport, Montello, Waterford, and Wilmot against Appleton East. So let me reach out to some of those advisors and see what I can do about getting a game for that on stream. So see you tomorrow, and have a good night, all right? Peace.